What's up?
Yo,
What's
yo,
up?
yo, what
What's
up?
up?
Yo,
Hey, what's up, Lee? You sick?
everything's gone.
Lee,
Mr.
can you
Lee
hear us?
Priest, how you feeling?
Good, I can hear you now.
Okay. You
Are
sick?
you sick?
I got a bit of a runny nose. My wife had the flu for 2 weeks, and I think I caught a little bit of it, but not too bad. Just a runny nose.
Yeah, I got sick in
Overdose on
Alabama.
that zinc, brother. Take a lot of zinc and you'll be all right.
King, my body is a temple. I do not put anything like chemicals in my body.
All right, I'll take that.
You guys ever do those vitamin? I was doing those, but I had a company. I was doing those vitamin IVs for a while. You go, they put the whole bag in you.
I've seen them, never done them.
The girls would always miss though, and you can't miss my. I have veins everywhere. I'm very vascular, and they would always like miss it and those are big ass gauges they use for that. I'm like, I'm not coming here anymore.
Well, they say sometimes the bigger they are, because they're big, you think they could get them, but when they go to put the needle in, the vein rolls or something, so they miss it. I'm thinking, how can you miss it? It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I say. The vein, bodybuilders, the veins just like roll easily. So whatever.
And the worst thing is when they don't take it out, they just leave it in. They start digging around while they're in there, and it fucking hurts. It's like just
it's
take
like
it
back
out.
and forth like that. Like they're playing the violin in your vein. So, what y'all think of the Dubai Pro? I'll put the placings up. Beirut's looked amazing. I thought obviously he should have won. What y'all think about the rest of the placings? We got Bonak second, Tonio third, fourth.
I thought Tonio looked good. I thought Tonio looked a bit better than Bonak. Like Bonak's great. He's been doing a lot of shows and that, but I just thought at this one he wasn't at his best, and his midsection looked a little bit puffy around the obliques and stomach stuck out a bit. So I think there could have been an argument for second, third, and fourth to be changed around a bit without any problem. But Beirut's looked to be the clear winner, though.
Yeah, I know Nathan was pretty upset. He's been pretty vocal about not. He thought he should have won and got or at least second.
Yeah. Well, he said it was mainly between him and Antonio. But looking at Beirut, unless it's always hard too. It's like we're going off little photos and videos, but even on that, Beirut looked pretty good.
King, were you happy with the placings?
Yeah, I think it went down exactly. Not exactly, but it was close to what I thought was going to happen. I agree with Lee. Tonio looked good, but I think he just got out muscled. You know how it is.
Yeah.
When he gets to the IFBB pros, they look for the muscularity. Muscularity has to be there, and Bonak definitely has that muscularity. So I personally think that Tonio's condition was fantastic. He looked great. He made his mark. Absolutely. Bonak was too muscular.
Yeah. Tonio looked really good. And then what about Nathan? Because Nathan really believes he believes it's with the judges that don't like him. And
yeah. Well, I think it's the best Nathan's looked, and that's probably one of the best Nathan's looks. I could probably see him being a bit disappointed, knowing probably seen you at your best you've been in a long time. So normally when you're at your best, you always think you're going to do a lot better, and can get discouraging. And after a show, we're always, if you don't win, people are high on emotions, and you're like, oh, fuck this, fuck that. And I did see on that podcast, I think he, even in the title, didn't he sort of say something about Steve doesn't like him, or Steve didn't.
Yeah.
Steve doesn't call him out. So, yeah, right. But then I was that other thing too, because we talked about it on John's show yesterday, that I didn't quite get what he was saying. Did he say that he missed the cutoff for Italy Pro by 12 minutes? They wouldn't let him do the show or something? Was it 12 minutes?
That's what he said. Yeah.
That seems a bit weird. Like a promoter, if 12 minutes, I'd be like, okay, you can do the show. It's like 12 minutes. Come on.
Well, it sounds like someone might have an issue with him because, some people were saying like it just wasn't 12 minutes and he just kind of thinks he can do whatever he wants to. And then he's like, if it was my show, I'd be like, yeah, great. Come to the show. I wouldn't say, it's this, these guys at this level, they need to be treated a certain way. Y'all were treated a certain way. And I know Lee, you spoke out when you didn't like things. Things don't always go how you want them. But this guy's entering your show. It's good for your show. The more competitors. And I just don't understand why they wouldn't let him in it.
But didn't Milos say on Jay's, I only caught a bit of it when I was listening, driving, that he wasn't sure whether Beirut was going to do it because he couldn't get a hold of Beirut for some reason. So he ended up getting a hold of Tyler or whoever and told Tyler he wanted to do the show. So Tyler goes, okay, I'll take care of it, and put his name down for it. But then he got a hold of Beirut, and Beirut says, I'm not doing it. Samilas is like, I had to call Tyler back and say, take Beirut's name off the show. So they were going to let Beirut do it. So whether that was in a different time frame or timeline, who knows?
Well, it's the communication, man. It's not that difficult. You got to communicate with the people. And if I was Nathan, going back to the whole Nathan thing, listen, I predicted, if Nathan watches this, I don't know Nathan, I've never met him, but if he happens to watch this, I predicted that you were going to get first or second before the show. So I'm not a hater.
Mm-hmm.
You can go out and say whatever you want about anybody you want. You can't say it about me because I had you winning or getting second place at the show before the show. I even called up Behruz and I warned him about you. So I said, Behruz, make sure you are dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. Don't take any chances here because everybody's saying you're going to win this show, blah, 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 blah. That's not how bodybuilding works, especially if Weinberger is head judging. So make sure that you're at your best and what have you. Okay, so getting that out of the way, Nathan, sorry, brother. You know, you looked great. You looked fantastic, but you might have missed something, or something in the midsection wasn't quite there. It was not comparable. You got out-muscled by Bonac. You got out everything by Behruz, and you got out-conditioned by Tonio. That's just the facts, man.
I saw they posted pictures of you know, him last year at the Dubai Pro and this year. I thought he looked better last year at the Dubai Pro.
He was harder,
fuller, harder, and so I think he, you know, for this year he got. I mean, I don't want to say worse, but he wasn't as good to me this year as he was last year. And everybody, we're going back to that saying coach. We're not saying that Stefan guy is a bad coach. You just can't realistically coach half the top pros. You know, King, we prep a lot of people. I mean, especially just. I know Regan just left Stefan, so everybody, you know, now people's figuring out like, hey, there's no magic potion here, and you know,
did Regan leave him? Has Regan left Stefan?
Yeah, Regan left Stefan.
What was that? What was that? Like 6 months?
a season? Yeah, it wasn't long at all. And then, I mean, I'm sure he realized like this guy's literally got every competitor now, and you know, you can't.
It's like you said too. It's like it's not that they know when he's got a secret. Whoever you go to, it's not like they're going to hit it, boom, straight out the ballpark. They've got to learn your body, which I've always said you should know yourself. So anyone you go to is going to eat this, take that, do this. So it's all experiment. First show, oh, fuck, we fucked it up. Next show, we won't do that again. We're going to learn. So no matter who you go to, it's normally going to take a couple of shows till you tweak things out and get 100%. Them right, you know.
100%, absolutely.
I think he realized this guy just has way too many clients, and you know, so it's not like the big names over the year, like a Hani, a George, or someone like that. This guy started, you know, everybody rushed to him right away, and then he started. Martin was off, one of his classic guys. All these people started. Wesley Vissers was off. All these guys started being off right away. You gotta, you know, I know the money's coming in. Everybody's want to hire you. You got a lot of big names, but realistically, you know how it is, King. Even like if you're doing local shows, you have a certain amount of clients. Like I don't like to put more than like 4 clients, 3 or 4 into one show. I'll like, hey, you guys do this show, you do this show. So it's kind of like spread out. If everybody's competing at one show, that's really hard to just get everybody. I don't know how many. I know Chad took a lot on back in the day too.
Yeah, it almost killed him.
Yeah,
at the New York Grand Prix a couple of years ago, I had 8 clients in one show. All of them won their classes. 2 of them won overalls, and I'm telling you, I was sick for about 3 weeks afterwards. I was just like exhausted. I when I go to the gym, my knuckles started to hurt. My knuckles, my eye. You know, when you're so tired, your eyeballs start to hurt towards the back of your eye. I was like, "What the hell am I doing?" But it's not easy. And Chad, my God, when he had Nasser, me, Chris, Ronnie, Kevin, Flex. He used to have like I used to see him, and he would be like Kim. I used to talk for him. He couldn't even talk at a certain point. So yes, he needs to take it easy. And Lee, you don't know what anybody's talking about because you did everything yourself. So I don't want to hear it.
But we should. Here's an idea. We'll all take one person each. King, you take Regan. I'll take Nathan, and we'll all just take a pro each. We'll see who can get him in the best shape.
I mean, these guys need to really just get it. They don't. People think there's like a magic potion. That's why they rush to these coaches still. And you can't explain to people. Find yourself someone that really is behind you, is going to have your back. You know, through your shows. Let that give that coach time to learn your body and stick with them. Just don't rush to. First it was like like this coach, and everybody runs to this coach, and figure out, and then they figure out everybody's eating the same shit, taking the same shit. They're all doing the same stuff. It's just
Armon. There's one more factor in here.
You guys keep talking. I can hear you. I just got to pee real quick.
There's one more factor here that we got to put into this. I don't know, Lee, if you agree with this or not. A lot of the kids, a lot of the people that go to these coaches, they're looking for excuses to do more drugs. They themselves need to hear. Do you believe that?
Exactly. I was just going to say, no matter who you go to, I found the best results. Even like I said, I did it myself. And the more basic I kept it, the better shape I got in. 100%. If you don't overcomplicate it with the food, the carb loading, sodium loading, whatever it is you want to do, water loading, if you don't overcomplicate it with the drugs, diuretics, insulin and shit, the more basic you can keep it, the better you're going to be on stage, and it'll be a lot easier when it comes to dieting. Keep it basic. It's a lot easier to fix a mistake rather than go back and go, oh shit, was it this? Was it that? Was it this we put in? That's the thing. Like I said, they're looking for a miracle thing. They want a miracle drug. They want drug combinations that are fucking unheard of when we did shit. That's why, we tell them something we did in the basic, I didn't take any more than 4 things to get ready for a show. And the 4th one was clenbuterol, which I didn't even count as a fucking steroid. So, but I see guys taking 8 or 7, 9 different drug combinations and shit. I'm like, you're overcomplicating it too much in the body. Even when it comes to the food, keep it basic and you can't go wrong. And I think these people go to these people like Stefan or Hani and them thinking they've got this magic formula. They got this magic potion that's going to, get me in shape and it's going to do the magic thing. When you get there, you're like, well, it's really just the same, just done in a different way. So keep it basic, people, and, you have less mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree that obviously you guys were, the genetically top tier. I do believe certain people are going to need a little bit more drugs than others. It's just going to be that way. And, but I found it hard. I've talked to a couple guys in the top open in the past couple of years and about working with each other for a while, but they were really just on way too much stuff. And I knew I couldn't convince them to take less. And then you don't know what's going on with their body because they're just popping stuff left and right. They don't even know how much they're taking at some points. And then you're trying to control certain estrogen and balance this out with this drug, and it just gets messy. So, I agree. People are figuring out this Stefan guy doesn't have the magic potion now, and then they're slowly going to start leaving and hiring. Regan went to Dom Super Slice. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
I do.
He's a good. I like him. He's a good guy.
I can't hear him on at the moment. He's disappeared on me. So if he's saying anything,
he prepped Nick, and I think he didn't get a lot of credit for prepping Nick Walker for a while, because then in the last couple of months, Nick went back to Matt Jensen that year. I think that was the year Nick looked his best. And I talked to Dom and asked what happened between y'all, and he didn't even know. He's like, man, Nick left me. And I had to find out on social media he went back to Matt. He didn't even call me up and tell me. He had the respect enough to tell me as a coach, hey, I'm going to go back to my old coach. He just found out on social media. So these guys do. I know it's happened to you, Key. You help a lot of certain people out, and they just burn you. You're like, man, I put a lot of effort into this guy, and then they go jump ship last minute, or they think some other guys in their ear. A lot of other coaches are poachers, and they go out there and they try to poach other people's clients. We all know.
Here's my take on coaches, and I'm going to be 1,000% honest for all the people that are listening out there. And I hope this goes viral. There's nothing that Armon knows that I don't know. There's nothing that I know that Lee Priest doesn't know. There's nothing that we all know the same stuff. We've experimented. We did everything that we had to do. We learned and we went and did it, watched other people, learn from other. Okay. The difference between the three of us is personalities. So you have to go and find a coach that's going to match. If you want a coach who's going to give you positive affirmations, okay, that's not me. Okay, I'm always going to be like, no, you're not ready. I'm going to look at you and be like, no, you still need to work on this. You know why? Because I've been, since the getbig.com days, from the beginning of it, I've been getting shit on and said this and that. So that's fine. I like negative because it gives me fuel. You got to find out what coach. Chad Nichols, very, very dry. You could send them pictures of yourself looking like the greatest bodybuilder of all time. He's going to be like, yeah, you look good. All right, keep doing what you're doing. That's Chad. He's not gonna say, wow, oh my God. This is not him. Milos, if you want a coach who's going to explain the chemical breakdowns and the physiology and the genetics, then you go to Milos. He's gonna explain to you why insulin, why there's a Krebs cycle, why there's osmosis between this and that's Milos. Okay, so you want somebody who's gonna bring you in and live with him for the last month before the show, invite you into his house, you go to Hani Rambod. Okay, this is how that's how you should pick out your coaches. There's plenty of people out there, and coaches can make a ton of money. There's an unlimited amount of clients out there, amount of clients. Just pick the right personality that you like.
I totally agree. And I've had clients before, and I told them, like, listen, we just don't match up. Like, I have another guy I can send you to. And I've sent, I've sent Milos people. I've sent other people, my clients before, because we just weren't a match. They wanted someone that was a different personality type, and I'm like, I'm like king. I'm very hard on my clients, and I'm never like, if I like some of my, especially the girl clients, a lot of them have to, I remember one of my friend David, he passed away. He used to prep a lot of girls down here in Texas, and I mean, he was literally just friends with all these girls, like hanging out with all these girls, and they enjoyed that. A lot of people want a friend when they hire a coach too. They really do. I know you, King, you've got tons of people. If you become friends and it's organic, that's perfectly fine. But a lot of people, expect certain things out of a coach or want to call you some nights and talk for an hour. I'm like, bro, like every blue moon, that's okay. But I got kids, I got a family. Like you got to separate, who can get you on the stage looking your best, not who's the nicest or who's going to make you feel the best. That's your own deal to have a counselor or whatever to work out your, emotional issues and all that.
And it's not easy, man, especially if you're one of those coaches that goes to the shows. Like that one show that I was telling you about where I had 6 or 7 clients. My girlfriend at the time was one of them. And I had to make sure that the other girls didn't think I was giving extra attention to my girl. And I was like, oh my God. So as soon as I said something to my girlfriend, I had to walk over to the other 3 girls, make sure that they're fine. Everything. So again, it's a personality thing, and you have to find someone who's going to match.
And
sadly, sadly that's not how your friend passed away, was it? All those women clients, the stress killed him.
Well, he used to. The thing with him, he would sleep with a lot of them, and I'm
the stress did kill him. The stress did kill him.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what actually killed him, which is actually sad. But he would get. You can't be sleeping with like a bunch of clients. That's just not professional. You can't mix business with pleasure. It doesn't work out. He would have to stop, turn off his Instagram because so much drama would happen all the time. Because this girl figured out he was with this girl, and you know how girls are. You sleep with them, I think you're a girlfriend, and the next day, and you're monogamous just with that girl and all that kind of stuff. But no, he went to Vegas, and he was over 40. He went to Vegas, partied, and decided to really hit it hard, like he was a 20-year-old, and did a bunch of blow and had a heart attack and died in front of his friends that gave it to him right there. So, the wreck stuff is scary.
Especially these days with the wreck stuff, you don't know what you're getting mixed into it.
You can't do that ever. What we did back in the day cannot be done now. You just can't do it. One little, back in the day, let's be realistic here. We don't lie here. You'd go to the Sound Factory, some fucking knucklehead will walk up to you, put his hands down his cargo pants, pull out 3 pills and hand it to you. You give him like $60 and you're good to go. Okay, you cannot do that anymore. That is I mean, it's a guaranteed Russian roulette. You're gonna fucking kill yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least at these, a lot of the, I don't go to these, like, I don't, whatever you want to call them now, these techno whatever raves anymore. But a lot of them have tester kits. These, these for people to at least test it to make sure that there's no fentanyl in there and stuff, and all that. But no, it's not the same. You can't take a pain pill from someone and drink a beer. You can't take a Molly or you can't do that anymore. You just, it's all mixed with, fentanyl and, they got stuff stronger than fentanyl now and all this other stuff that will literally kill you. And we hear it all the time. This girl, she never took a pill before. A friend gave her a pill and she died at 16 or so. It's sad. And people, and it wasn't like that back then. What you got is what you got. If someone had a oxy or a hydrocodone, it is what it is with that, But.
I knew I shouldn't have taken that iced tea of Bill Cosby.
Hey, going back to the Dubai Pro, I don't know if you guys will agree with this. Of course, people are going to say that I'm biased because I'm Iranian and I'm going to be rooting for Behruz. Of course, I love the guy and I talked to him many times leading up to the show. Even the day before, I gave him some advice about posing, and he actually listened to me, which was good. So here's the thing, though. A lot of people came and asked me afterwards, is he Mr. Olympia, this and that? And I said, listen, guys, this was not the best conditioned Behruz I've ever seen. It was not. I've seen him in better shape. It was the most complete Behruz I've seen. He's improved. He improved his posing. He improved his muscularity. Now, his conditioning was better in the past. Why? Because when you put on muscle, you're going to lose a tiny little bit of conditioning. That's just how the body works. Now, everyone's raging and going crazy about what's going to happen to Olympia. Did he throw a monkey wrench into your Olympia? Absolutely. Will he be in that first 5 call out? Absolutely. I don't know if he's ready, but we got to see him standing next to. This is what we always say, guys. He has to stand next to Derek, Hadi, Samson, and then we'll see what the fuck is going on.
But King, is he going to be able to make? Is he going to be able to make it there?
Let's just assume that he makes it. Let's just assume that. I'm tired of thinking about that, man. It's fucking.
It sucks for them.
Speaking of that too, I was going to ask. I think John mentioned it on the show yesterday. He mentioned it about you. That are your friends and family safe over there in Iran, King? Nothing.
Most of my family is over here, man. The United States.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody scattered all over the place, all over the world, and they ended up here. I have a lot of friends over there. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with this young lady, and right as we're talking, I mean, it was it was like a movie. It was like, boom, boom, and then she fell to the ground, and then I didn't speak to her for 2 days. I mean, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But what can they do? Lee, what can they do?
See, my aunt and uncle and cousins, they live over there still. I've got most of my family, some in France, some here, but I've still got an aunt, uncle, and cousins, and they live in Tehran, 5 minutes away from a military base. And they said, when my dad spoke to them the other day, they said they walk outside, there was just smoke this was like a couple weeks ago, smoke everywhere, just from all the stuff. And every corner is like a tank, a military tank. And if you go out there, say anything against the government, they'll shoot you dead in the street. So I know.
Lee, let me tell you this, Lee. This is going to feel emotional for you. I hope it hits you in the right place. The shit that you hear, the politics, the media, when they show the people living in huts and this and that, that's not Iran. Okay? Yeah. If Lee Priest went to Iran, they would come and kiss your hand, man. They love you over there. They love you over there. You will be treated like a god. All the 95, 96% of the people in Iran, they want to party, live life, have a good education, make a lot of money. That's it. It's the politics that drives everything fucking in the toilet.
Definitely, like you said, the politicians and media, because how many times have we done it? I know myself. I've been asked to go to countries and you'd be like, really don't want to go there because you're going off the news. You get there and you're like, this is fucking nothing like they fucking said. People are friendly, they're happy, they're fucking, you know, you go by the news and shit, you think they fucking get off the plane, they want to kill you and hate everyone. But like you said, you believe that shit when you get there, total opposite of what they're fucking portraying in the media.
You'd be so safe. You'd be protected by the right, powerful people there. They were just like when Ronnie went. Ronnie went over there. Nothing could get close to him. Nothing.
Yeah.
And the people loved him, and there was lines around the corner. You know, it's just, it kills me with how the media portrays everybody out there. It's all bullshit.
Yeah,
they do it to themselves in America. In America, how the media just has Americans fighting over race, religion, fucking who you vote for. Fucking talk about just tearing people apart over stupid shit. And people are falling for it, watching the news, fighting their neighbors over crap you'd never normally fucking fight about.
Yeah, it's sad how, you know, just the whole world is now. In the U.S. too, everybody's hates somebody because they voted for that or they believe in that. It's just like life is too short for all that, man. It's just like, you know, we know how it is. We have friends and people pass away constantly. Life's too short for all that nonsense. But let's so this guy competed at the amateur portion, earned his pro card, and look at the outer
Russian
quads.
Is he Russian guy? Is he Russian, that guy?
I don't know what he is, but I sent it to King the other day. We've been talking about the outer quad stuff. Okay, when you guys competed, your quads look a certain way. That's how the anatomy was. Now everybody has these big old sweeps. That's not the anatomy. That's not muscle. That's right there.
No, because
Has
like the quad.
Seen the video you sent me yesterday?
I'm gonna play it.
It's weird. It's like Rami's quads. You know, Rami, like everyone has the, you know, where it's coming out of the hip here. But all of a sudden, our quad used to just come out and flare out. But now it's like, here's the hip, and it's like this bolt on. It's like when you put a flared guard on a fucking car. It's like his fucking thing that just sticks out like that.
Lee, wait till you see this video he's about to show you. Yeah. You're gonna piss in your pants. Watch this.
If these guys were doing this when y'all were competing, they would have been placed last place. The problem is everybody's doing it now. So it's like, they all have those quads that sweep way out there. Like, listen, I'm not against enhancement oil at all. Like, use a little bit in your biceps, try whatever. Yeah. That's perfectly fine. But what they're doing more. They're putting like fillers in certain muscles that are, it's like permanent there. Like, let me play this video.
Well, it's like I said, it's like when you get the Mustang and you get the big fucking wheels, you got to put the wide body kit on it. You stick those flared guards on. That's what it looks like it's coming off their legs, these fucking flared guards.
Watch this video, Lee. Watch this video.
I'll try and get close.
This is no joke. Watch this video.
So they're shooting up.
A team working on one guy's chest. A team working on some guy's quads.
Look at that guy's chest. That's all fillers.
I need some of that in this part here where I atrophied from the nerve damage.
Well, that's what you're saying right now, Lee Priest. What you're saying right now is 100% legit. You have an issue after 40 years of destroying your body, just like me. Yeah. I got some parts of my body that have a little bit of damage here and there that I would love to fix. And
mine here's like Scott Steiner, because of that. Like my chest comes here, but here it's about almost 1.5 inches gap from this side of my chest. It almost looks like a little dog took a bite out of it, like Scott Steiner from that nerve damage. And I was going to talk to one plastic surgeon, like, we can put fat in there, but he goes, the only problem is if you ever diet down to do photo shoots, because it's fat, the fat would just disappear again. So I need some filler in here. Can I get
this guy right here? Yeah. I did some research on him after Armon sent me his information. Armon, send it to Lee too. He is legit, Lee. He has celebrity clients. Half of Bollywood has gone to this guy. I think what's that Jenner? What's her name? Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn, yeah.
The mother of all those women. I think she went and got her face.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name? Because if you go to his Instagram page, it's all celebrities. It's all celebrities.
I got a couple plastic surgeons.
Send me his Insta. Oh, my luck, I'll be the one that fucks up and end up with a fucking boob.
I'll send you that. I mean, we've all got, let's be real. We all got, when you get older, things have, over the years, from trading, from injecting in certain spots over and over and over, you get nerve damage. And, it sucks because I know I'm I'm insecure about certain parts of my body that used to look a certain way, and they just can't anymore. Once you get a certain age and you pound that muscle over the years. It's just another nerve damage. I've got it lead to in my neck where this arm's like an inch and a half.
I said this tricep slowly came back after the accident, but like this tricep, that lat and the chest bit just from the car accident atrophied, but the chest is the worst part, just where it's got that big gap in here. I like fucking hate it.
You know, Lee, who has that now. He hasn't shown anybody. When I did stem cell, when Dave and I went to Mexico to do that stem cell, the owner showed me pictures of Ian Valers. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. He has it really bad. His whole chest is like this.
In the middle bit there. Yeah, some people get it both sides. Yeah, like it's just like, it's almost like a little shark's taking a bite out. So,
yeah. And he sent the guy pictures to see if stem cell would do anything for that. But I don't think stem cell is going to regrow anything like that. That's just damaged. And I think you could probably put some sort of filler in there, like these guys are doing, that would fill it out.
Well, I was hoping to look at filler.
As long as Lee made a great point. As long as you're not trying to get super ripped and shredded, and you want just that nice full puffy look, then it's going to look fine.
Yeah. What about the Italy Pro? You guys have the list for it? I didn't even look at it.
Presti's doing it, and I think Rubio, is he Rubio doing it?
Yeah, this guy says besides Rubio and Presti, besides that, I haven't even checked it out.
But I'm thinking, Rubio, if he can come in a little bit tighter, he might get a qualification to the Olympia because he's such a freak, and people love the freaks. But I don't know if he's ever going to win a show. But that guy, like I said, all he'd have to do is be like a Tom Platz, a Mike Matarazzo, with that freaky mass, play to your strengths, come in as good as you can, because you can make a lot more money being a freak, doing appearances, than the guys winning shows looking like that. So just become this anomaly that, people want to see you in person, like a Victor Richards type,
Victor Richards, Rubio, Blessing in the off season. These guys should be doing appearances and being the trend twins, or what. I don't want to put them in the same category, but you can make a ton of money, And I'm sure Hollywood will pick you up and say, wow, what the hell is this? We need some freak in this movie. And you're going to get picked up. Just competition-wise, I don't think so either, Lee. I don't think Rubio, he's going to, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars and get yourself ready for the Olympia. If he qualifies, he'll probably be out of the top 10.
Yeah, his body just doesn't have that flow. And I know he's young. Isn't he only like 28, 29? I know, if he could come in maybe super shredded, but he just, that big neck, the big legs, it just doesn't flow together. And I don't know if it ever will. Blessing, on the other hand, he was doing great with the social media stuff before bodybuilding. Then he got into the competitive bodybuilding. We all saw him. He took all that time off, gained all that weight, dieted down, and looked worse. So if that's what Rubio.
You're right, but I say that's what Rubio needs, because he needs to be like Blessing, because I don't know if he speaks much English or good English or posts much, but he needs that outgoing personality like a Blessing or someone, or a Rich Piana, because if you're just freaky like that and you can get the following, you got that personality that people gravitate towards, and the world's your oyster. We're looking like that. Fuck.
Yeah, I would learn some English and then start doing some stuff like y'all said, and I just don't think putting your body through the bodybuilding prep and all that over and over and over is their way to go, really. I mean, it sucks to hear that if that's their dream, to be on the Olympia stage and Olympia and all that, but you got to realize, if you could go back in time and you were someone like that and you could save your body from pushing it to those limits over and over. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
Well, even look at Victor Richards that time. Remember when Victor Richards, because he never competed, but remember all the talk when he guest posed in FIBA at that time and he was beside Dorian and just being big as a fucking house? People always said, oh, fuck, imagine if he did compete. Imagine, if he did, he probably would have fucking not placed it good. But then that gets rid of that mystique. As long as you have that mystique about, oh, imagine if he did this and did that, people are going to be like, yeah, fucking look at him. So if Rubio turned up and guest posed with those people at like the NPC Mannion show and never competed, just the talk of, look how big he is standing beside him,
If you guys could go back and to your prime or before that and change like one thing you thought was like a mistake, or you guys know now that what would y'all change? Like, that's something you did with your career, or something that you think hurts you that you would have done differently?
I changed my IFBB Pro card for an F1 steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
my,
think
my,
I
my
got into
answer is
bodybuilding at 13. If I had got into the kart racing at 13, I might have ended up in F1, because the racing I did pretty well at the end of my career. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd actually do body. I still love. Look, I love training. I'd always do the training because I love that. Would I go back into the competing side? I'm not sure. I'd probably,
Did,
if I knew what I knew now, probably not, because I didn't like the competing anyway. I had to do that for the sponsors, and I did that for the sponsors and fans, because you got to travel and meet the fans. But I don't know. I've always liked anything that was like really, because when you get ready for contests, I like that militant style of thing. Eat now, train this time, do that time. So I've always liked that thing where I'd like to be in the police force, or I would have liked to be in the military somewhere if I had gone back in time.
did you work 9 to 5s, Lee? Did you ever do that at one
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. In the beginning, I worked 9 to 5s, but not really 9 to 5s, because I cleaned homes and that like during the day. But at night time, I'd go out at like 10 p.m. and clean factories until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. And then I cleaned homes during the day. But then when I was younger, I had like I'd say 8 to 3 job. The guy who owned the company trained, so he'd let me off early to go to the gym. But I used to service fire equipment like fire extinguishers and sprinkler systems, and to go around the big businesses or factories and just have to test all their fire equipment out. So it
Do you
worked me
think
well, because like I said, he trained so I could take food and go to the gym before work and after work.
Do you think these guys competing now, a lot of them just kind of wait for a check from their sponsor? They don't really understand, like,
Mhm.
they should maybe be getting some other things in life done, maybe experience here or there. Just sitting at home all day maybe is not the most productive thing to do. Or did you
Well,
guys enjoy
what's
that? Like, eat, sleep, and train and just get ready for shows?
Well, I enjoyed that, but today, sadly, you can almost sit at home and make money though with Instagram and
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff like that. Whereas back in our day, we had to, and okay, we eat, sleep and train, but we had to train a lot. I think we had to train, I wouldn't say harder, but that mindset was, if I don't look good, the contract's gone. Then what am I going to do? Type
correct.
thing. So you had that pressure. If I don't look good, I won't get on the cover. I won't get in the articles. So we had that thing where you'd go push that a little bit harder, because especially a couple of times with Pro Lab and Twin Lab, it was good because I had a 2-year deal and then a 3-year deal. But then when they went to 1-year deals, that's when it was like, fuck, it's up in November, it's September. Holy fuck, are they going to re-sign me? Are they going to re-sign me? Then the pressure starts, you start panicking. And then it's like, that's when you start thinking, fuck, I should have been doing something else, because if I don't get
Yeah.
re-signed, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
What
I
about
mean,
you,
Howard,
King?
Howard Stern said it best, man. Howard Stern said, I worked for 30 years of my life making $20,000 a year, eating toast and bread and this and that, and now finally to get to where I got, where I'm making money and became this. Now all you got to do is be 17 years old, hot, and start a podcast, and then you have Kamala Harris come onto your podcast. He goes, I don't understand. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but it's true. That's the sign of the times.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys now, let's be real. A lot of these guys, like the twins and Sam Sulik, and we've seen in the past. How long can you really keep up that same act and still
Yeah.
have a huge fan base? I mean, I just don't think it's realistic to have a long term with that. You have to do other things and put your money into other aspects of, your roles. I mean, they're in their
Mhm.
20s now. Are you still going to be the twins at 30 years old, 35
Yeah.
years old? It's really not cute anymore at that
No,
age.
it's similar to I find if you look at the old days of rock and roll bands, whether it was Rod Stewart or whoever, some of these bands that finally made it, they had to start off going to little clubs, little shit old pubs on the corner, little bars, and play and work their way up. But they've been doing it 30, 40, 50 years. The Rolling Stones are still going. They've been established. I'm sure they look back now and go, look at this prick. He goes on American Idol. All of a sudden, the fans like him because he's good looking. The girls vote for him. And now he's in 1 year, he's got a fucking album out. He's got a song. But yet, those people who normally do win American, unless you're Kelly Clarkson or someone like that, who's a few of them have gone on. What's his name? Adam Lambert, who got second, and he sings for Queen now and then, that good singer. But the majority of them, they're like you said, 1 or 2 years, 3 years at most, and they're gone. Never hear of them again. Whereas these people who did the hard yards, slugged it out, are still there today, 30, 40 years later.
Yeah.
Armon, look at that little guy, Hezbollah. I mean, in 15, 20 years ago, Hezbollah would have been a little freak. People would have felt sorry for this little 35-year-old guy who's only 2 feet tall. But now he's a multi-millionaire. He hangs out with Dana White and Shaq, and he's all over the world. I mean, it's just a sign. It's crazy, but that's what the times that we're living in right now, man.
These fat, weird girls that are, that can never get a guy. They're doing these weird OnlyFans stuff. Like, the gross.
The ones who just make. I miss my calling. I see these people now on YouTube making thousands, big fat people. People just watch them eat. I'm thinking, fuck! Imagine if I had that back in my bulking days, I could have just ate Kentucky all day and filmed it, and people could have watched me. It's like,
fuck. I mean, it's some weird shit out there, and what people have to understand: just because a lot of certain people have a huge following, doesn't mean they're always making money. I know a couple of guys I've talked to; they have huge followings, whether it be TikTok. I'm like 1 million plus, and you would think they're making money, and they're making maybe a few thousand a month, and that's it. But people think they're making a lot of money. So always a big following doesn't equal a lot of money to come with it. You got to have some sort of value in something. But yeah, I mean, if you monetize certain things and you do the marketing all right, just messed up, weird, odd shit can make money.
I wished I like even Instagram sometimes. I know you can do subscriptions on Instagram and stuff and monetize it somehow. I'm not sure how, if anyone can tell me, but I often think, okay, I'm getting back. I had near 1 million before Instagram fucking deleted my account at the start again. I think I got like 780,000. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice just once a year if every one of those followers had to pay $1? Just $1. It's like, that's nothing. I'm thinking that'd be like $700,000 a year. Just if everyone give me 50 cents, I'll take 350,000 a year. Like, imagine Chris Bumstead has got 20 million followers. Imagine just if they had to follow Chris, you had to pay $1, which is nothing. Imagine 20 million given $1. I'd be like, fuck.
I think you can do subscriptions, but it's like I don't know how many of those guys are paying it because everything's just so free.
That's what I mean. They won't. They say to your fan, but even $1, make it as cheap as $1. They're like, I'm not paying $1. I'm like,
which leads us to which is a perfect lead into your boy, Liver King. What the fuck is that, man?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
We were gonna get into that.
There?
So
what happened there? Shit.
King, I'll tell you. Want to tell a story? I can tell the story.
No, you say it, man.
Okay, so basically, Liver King, after he got exposed and Joe Rogan talked about him, and then Derek More Plates, More Dates did, and all John Bravo even, because John Bravo does the videos on him. He finds out shit that nobody else knows. It's crazy. I talk to John at least every couple of weeks, but basically, he was making all these videos threatening Joe Rogan, say I'm coming to Austin. I think he lives somewhere in Texas outside of Austin, I believe, the Liver King, some big whatever ranch property. This just goes to show you, like, all the money in the world, can't, it's not going to make you happy. This guy, all these people he's bothered by, and he's lost his mind, and he's on, basically, he's been doing a bunch of ketamine, a bunch of dissociates. And supposedly, you remember that brain shock therapy they used to do back in the day, like shock your brain?
Oh, yeah. Like therapy, shock therapy.
Yeah. He hired, I guess, this private nurse, some girl, to come to his house and do this shit on him. So
I think they turned it up too high. They turned it up too high.
And if you watched all the videos, they don't make sense what he's talking about. And everybody's like, oh, he's just doing this for publicity. No, this guy took this whole damn family and took a road trip to Austin, staying in the Four Seasons, and he's telling Joe, I got this present for him. So, Joe's little logo, whatever, the half of the face or whatever, Joe Rogan's logo. He had a little box, and in that box was a gun and a bunch of cash, and he opened it real quick and showed it. He said that was a present he was bringing for Joe Rogan. And so you got to take stuff like this serious. This guy is scary. If this guy's coming after one of you guys, and you guys, one of the most popular people in the world, like Joe Rogan, you're going to call the police. Like, dude, I don't know. This guy's coming to hurt my family and his wife.
Like you said, none of it made sense. So in that hotel room when he's in Austin and he's talking about, my queen and this, I got to respect them. But it's like his train of thought was just all over the shop. You're like, what? Even my wife's like, what's he on about? I said, I got no clue. Then he's on about, oh, how long have I got the police? And he's got that screwdriver, and his cameraman's like, maybe you shouldn't take that with you. He's like, you don't think so? He's like, not if you're going out to arm police, you shouldn't be carrying that. And he's got that stupid vest, and he's talking about the enema. Will they give me 12? And the cops come in, remember? Then he's like, can I have 12 minutes? We'll set our stopwatch, 12 minutes. I got to go to the bathroom because I got the coffee enema there, and he's showing how he has the coffee enema and lays in the shower to shit when he's shitting. He's got to lay down to shit. I'm like, but his whole face too, before he left, he didn't have all those fucking marks all over his face. And then in Austin, it looks like he's fucking hit his face on something, like taking a fall, but he just seemed like, oof, totally out there. And like you said, all that money he made, even after he got outed and he said, I'm on gear and that, he could have just quietly went away and lived off the amount of money he's got for the rest of his life. But he's just gone. Sadly, I look at someone like that, I'm thinking he's the type of nut who gets in their own little brain. Like you said, it's like that One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest where they do the fucking shock therapy. You could sadly see him, even though he loves his family, but he's the type that would take himself out and his family, thinking,
oh, dude, Lee, together. I told my wife like that last time. Like, this is one of these guys that would like literally kill his own family and himself. Like,
oh yeah,
you got to take people like that serious. Remember,
well, you'd think it's like the Egyptian pharaohs. I'm going to take you all with me. We all have to go together into the next world. That's what his fucking. Yeah. That's what his mentality is like.
Yeah, it's scary, and it just goes to show you, like, he's really upset that he got outed. Like that whole thing. He wanted to keep that whole like, oh, I'm natural BS going, and Derek plays more dates is the one that broke the thing.
Because he mentioned Derek, didn't he? Because he goes, and that Derek from whatever, and that John Bravado, whatever his name.
So it just goes to show you, like, a lot of these top social media guys. When a lot of people want to be the next top thing that everybody's following you, a lot of shit comes with that. People sending you hateful messages. I'm sure you guys get it all the time too. Shitty messages. You have to block people, and people are like, oh, you blocked me because you keep, saying dumb shit over and over. It's not even funny. And a lot of negativity comes with, a following on social media. You get a lot of hate. You get a lot of people that want to be in your spot. They think life's easy. You just sit back and collect all these checks. And someone like him. Go ahead, Lee.
I was going to say, why they get up so at too? Because, like I said, I get the same ones that will say the same shit over and over. Because, like I said, I don't mind trolls. I'll have fun with them just to fuck with them. But when it's months and months of the same shit over and over, oh, you're a midget, you got a tattoo on your face. It's like, okay, I'm going to block you. But then they'll go on other shows. Or he blocked me. I'm like, you never said one good thing about me, so if I block you, what's your fucking problem? You don't like me anyway, so fucking get over it. It's like, why are you so upset about it?
Those type of people are weird.
Last week, same shit. There's a girl in Miami. She's a model. Gorgeous girl. Nina. Hello, Nina. And she goes back and forth with me all the time. And she sent me all these screenshots the other day of this guy in New Jersey, an old school bodybuilder. What's his last name is Lieberman, I think, or something like that. And then he went nuts on him. I mean, Kamali, I can't believe you're friends with that fucking fat pig, and he's a fucking this and that. And I'm reading this, and she goes, "Why do people hate you? Why do people?" I'm like, I went back and I found out that I blocked this guy 2 years ago. I'm like, sweetheart,
it got to him.
You gotta. These things are common. It's an everyday thing. You gotta just let it go. It's because they want you to give them attention. If you respond. I mean, Lee, I don't know about you. I've blocked about 6,000-7,000 people in the past.
Oh, I got a lot. Now that's why I laugh, because sometimes, like, when you're on after hours, I go on and comment, and then even on this show or somewhere else, there's that one guy, Larry. Or here's Lee getting the comments, getting attention. I'm thinking, Larry, you're on every fucking show I go on and say hello to someone. I'm thinking, you're the one that needs the fucking life. And then he'll mention my name 20 times. Or Lee's here again doing it. Lee's here, like, he just wants attention. I'm like, Larry, but you're giving me attention. You've mentioned my name 20 times so far in fucking 10 minutes, you idiot. It's like,
it just blows my mind, like, how, like, these guys are so hateful, and they really hate you because they don't even know you, but they hate you maybe if you just blocked them, or they just hate you anyways. Like, I've got people too like that. King, like, someone see me text, I'm like, I don't even know this person. Why do they hate me so bad? And,
I had a guy back in the day, before any of this nonsense social media stuff. He was like, talking a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a UFC guy. I'll kick your ass, this and that. I said, all right, well, I'll be in Las Vegas I'll be at the gym at Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I'll be there if you want. And I went there with my buddy G Money. We were there. We were training, and guess who showed up? And I'll never forgive him. Phil Baroni, the New York badass. And he said, "I got your back, King." I was like, "These motherfuckers not going to show up. They always talk, but the real champions, real fighters, real badasses don't act like that."
No.
They
how
don't
many
act
times?
like that. They're the quiet ones that they know that they can kill you, so they stay quiet.
You say that,
how many
King,
times have we got that?
Shout out to Phil Baroni. Real, I love that guy.
Well, we get that all the time, and I've told people, they'll be like, "I'll beat you up, Lee. I'll do this, I'll do that." I'm like, mate, I said, I'm a hitman's wet dream. Any of us are. If you want to get us right now, I'm going to beat the Olympia Gym Reapers. It says Lee will be appearing at the booth between 10 and 4 p.m. Lee will be at this gym later on. I'll be training over at Dragon's Lair. I said, if you're a hitman, like, you'll be just like, oh, he'll be here in a couple of minutes. Fucking got him. It's like, we're not hard to find, people. We don't know what you look like or anything, so you could walk up to us and fucking do a cheap shot on us from behind. We don't know what you look like, but you know what we look like. You see where we're going to be. It has the date, the time, the location. If you don't like us that much, fucking turn up then.
I got a story for you. I got a story for you, Lee and Armon. You guys are gonna love this. It's a Nasser story. Rest in peace, Nasser. I was at the Arnold Classic, and again, somebody on Get Big. I'm gonna show up at the Muscle Tech booth. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm signing pictures and this and that, and I see at the corner of my eye, there's a group of people standing there, a couple of girls and like 3 or 4 guys, and they're just standing there looking. So I'm like, whatever. And then the girl, he doesn't come by himself. He sends the girl over. And she's standing in front of my table, and she spills her drink. Oh, I'm sorry, all over my 8x10s. All right? So I just looked at her, and I said, okay, guess who was standing right behind me? Nasser. Nasser comes up, puts his hand on my shoulders, and he goes, let's go over there right now, and let's settle this once and for all. So I'm like, what? He goes, come with me, King. Come with me. We walk over there, and Nasser says, there's 8 of you, 2 of us. Let's go outside so we can kill you, beat the shit out of you. So this will never happen again. And I'm like, dude, you sent your girl. I didn't do anything. I'm like, you should have came yourself, bro. At least have the balls to come. So you ruined my 8x10, and Nasser right there would not let on. Anyway, long story short, security came and kicked them out and stuff like that. But this is it. This is how they are. They're real badasses. They don't do that. No.
You know, but it's got to be miserable to be these people. You're a grown man. You're messaging some other guy. Like, you're so miserable in your life. You have the time to go on. And if they just took that, I tell some of them sometimes, I'll message them back. I'm like, dude, if you took this energy, the hate you have for me, which I have no clue who you are. Like, if you took that energy and like go put it towards something productive, you could do something with your life. Like, there's no like real men or legit, straight up people that are successful doing this stuff. It's some weirdo at home with no job, miserable in life. They hate themselves. Just go change your life and take that hate.
Just look at their profile. The ones that say that shit sometimes, if they're not on private or have pictures, sometimes the ones that abuse you, when I look at their page, I'm like, really? Really, dude, or whatever you are, I can't work it out. You look like one of those pronoun group type people, the real fucking fairy flossy type with rainbow colors on your shirt. So I'm like, really? You're the one abusing the shit out of me? Yet, and the thing is too, they're going about you bodybuilders are this and that and you suck and this, but yet the first 20 pictures has got them posing in a bathroom somewhere. I'm like, you're trying to flex something you don't fucking have and you're talking shit to a actual bodybuilder? That's like, God.
Oh, dude, it's amazing.
This guy just brought up a great point too, Armon. I'll put his post back up. Yeah, you guys missed the magazine days. To you kids out there, it was something different, man. I mean, it hit a different way. It hit harder than. I mean, you're so saturated with whatever you need in your hand, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The whole world is right there on your phone for you. You don't know what it felt like to have that magazine drop Tuesday morning and you go and there's Lee Priest or King Kamali on the cover. And I get goosebumps right now.
What about
looking at that?
But what about if you went, it's meant to drop Tuesday and it's a day or two late? You're looking for it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it hasn't come in yet. You go home all pissed off. You got to wait another day for the fucking magazine.
Ronnie came over to guest pose at the Body Rock in Virginia, and I was hosting him, and we were doing back upstairs, and people heard that he was there. It's Lee. The entire town went and bought out every magazine from every bookstore, and there was a line going out the gym. The manager had to come to me and say, King, I'm like, what are you saying King for? He's Mr. Olympia, man. What do you think is going to happen? It's like fucking LeBron James walking into a fucking, it's going to happen. So he's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, let them form a line, and Ronnie just come and sign them, man. There's nothing you can do.
Did you ever go to the bookshops back then, whether it was Barnes and Noble, whatever they were, and the magazines are out? Did you ever put yours covered to the front sometimes just see if anyone recognized you?
100%.
Or when you hand it over to buy it, you're like, would they recognize me? Half the time they wouldn't with me. Half the time because I'm undercover in shape, and when I go to buy it, I'm fucking 280. They don't even notice. It's just like, yeah, whatever. That's me. They're like,
of course, man. Those are the best.
No, it's not. Ever. That's not you. They'll be like, that can't be you.
Shit, I used to do one, but I used to do one better, Lee. I used to call up Robert Kennedy and say, "Hey, Kennedy, I know that my cover was 3 months ago, but can you bring like 200 or 300 magazines to the Arnold? I'll sign them out." And he's like, "Absolutely, King. Absolutely, I'll bring them for you." Those are the days, man. It's those days.
Robert Kennedy in his nice purple. He always had his nice purple.
Green and purple.
green and purple. It looked like the Joker. The Joker's colors.
I met Bob later in his days, when I was competing and I, shot for Muscle Mag and all that. And I remember him.
Nicest guy in the world, man.
Yeah, great guy. I remember him coming in the photo shoot and telling, us to do all these crazy poses that said, don't listen. Hey, Bob's, too old now. Just keep doing what we're, telling you to do. But it's just, I feel bad for a lot of these guys now that I got a couple guys right now, they're they got a pretty decent following. They're about to compete. And, their whole life revolves around someone that says a bad comment. They just can't deal with it. And none of us had to deal with that. You work hard at the gym, you put your phone away. You have to have your phone 24/7, but now you have to. I mean, you have to do all this to stay relevant in bodybuilding. People don't know who you are if you're not doing social media or podcasts. They just don't know, it's just part of it. I think when people had to transition over, I know, King, you got on Instagram. What year did you start Instagram, King? Did you? And Lee, you started right over probably though. But I think King, I know I started late, kind of a little later than other people on it because I'm like, what's the concept? You take a picture of yourself in the mirror and put it on there, and I'm like, this is never going to last. And then it's the biggest popular thing in the world now.
Yeah, I didn't get into it very early either. I got into it a little bit later, but it's what do you have to. You're absolutely right. You can't not.
Let's bring back MySpace.
Yeah. I used to get so many clients on MySpace and just offers and people said gay guys sending me money and all that stuff. MySpace was awesome. But it's I don't know. It's just
shit, I was the masked muscle man in Muscle Mag International. That was my column. Nobody knew it was me. And Kennedy kept it a secret, like FBI top secret stuff. He didn't let nobody even in the company knew that I was the masked muscle man. And I used to rip people's dress off. I miss those days, man.
But back then too, like you really couldn't, if let's say if someone was really open about gear and drugs and all that, you'd probably get dropped from a couple contracts, wouldn't you?
You just never spoke about it. I mean, listen, I met Paul.
I did
times.
I did.
I mean, Lee was the most vocal out of everybody.
Lee was able to get away with things that other people.
They'd always try and catch me to sponsor. They're like, Lee, you can't say that. I said, no. I said, listen to what I said. They said, Lee, do you use steroids? I say, well, in the past I've used. I've never said I'm using. I just say I've used in the past. So
I remember that video.
That's how I got away with it.
I think it was Lee, Ronnie, and someone else. They had y'all faces blurred out.
Oh yeah. There was
everybody knew who you were because your body.
Yeah, because there was Chris Cormier, there was Matarazzo, there was Ronnie Coleman. There was at least 6 of us, and they distorted the voice and blacked their face out. I said at the time, I got nothing to hide. Just fucking put me on there as myself. So I was the only one that wasn't blacked out or it's funny, like you said, you can see Ronnie sitting there. His face is distorted, and they got this voice. His voice is computerized a bit, but he's still got that higher pitched voice, so you can tell it's Ronnie.
Yeah, you can tell.
John was asking a question. He goes, "How come no gay guys send me money?" John, now there's OnlyFans, brother. We don't. That's all you need to do now. Nobody. It's all the freaks in the world are satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was you know, gay guys, and I'm not shy about talking about, I was gay. When I got into bodybuilding, I didn't have any gay friends at all. I didn't even I wasn't comfortable around them, all that. And then we started working at all the bars and all that, and I was like, this is all the fans in bodybuilding pretty much, and all the top guys, whether it be Joe Weider and Connors and all the top guys, they're all gay, and that's who your fans are.
Their money's the same color.
Yeah. I adapted quickly, and and people always say, "Oh, I never shit." I was selling trunks and tank tops, and I even put on my website used clothes, and I would just sell them because I got so many requests. I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to wear this old shirt or posing trunks. I cleaned up on that market, man. And then a lot of the guys in the past too, they're like, "Oh yeah, all the guys who were doing it when I was competing at the national level, all the guys on the top level." It's just like, none of them really talk about it now, except the ones, I guess, their stuff gets out there. They shot a jack out video, and then as soon as they turned pro and got big, I'm not going to name names, but everybody knew, what they did.
Just admit it. Just admit it and go play along with it. Because, like I said, if you admit it and just say you did this and did that, like I've talked about all the stupid stuff I've done, no one can ever hold over your head like, "Hey, I'm going to say Lee said this." Oh, Lee said that 100 times in interviews. Too late. They're like, oh, okay. So, hey, we all do things for different reasons, different time in our life. It's like, I've never judged anyone on what they do or say or shit like that. So I'm like, hey, if you've done it, you've done it. And, fucking, like I said, as soon as if you try and deny it, that's when they come after you. If you just go, yeah, I did it, so what? Then it's like, shuts them down. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a huge gay fan base, and they would come to the bars and see me because they see in the magazines, and they were all good. Most of them were really awesome, people.
Yeah,
I befriended a lot of them over
people.
there.
Yeah.
But
like Joe Weider, my dad been with his partner for 40 years. He'd have his friends over, and most of them you wouldn't even know they're gay. When people think of gay people, sometimes I think they get that. Because I couldn't even sometimes stand them just because they're like, the ones that are really, hi, like really feminine, fanboy, and like really, it's like, oh, knock it off. But majority of my dad's friends, they just look like normal straight men. You wouldn't even know they were gay.
Yeah,
I got my lesson in that whole lifestyle through going to the clubs in New York. At first I was shocked. Just like anybody would be the first time, like, oh my God, look at that. After a year of Sound Factory and the tunnel and all that stuff, it was like it was nothing then. And as a matter of fact, then people, when they found out that you're straight and stuff, they could care less about you either. They would say, "Hey, hello, how you doing? Okay, what's up?"
Yeah.
It wasn't back then though. Like I remember when I used to work at the bars and all that. The guys would come in there and nobody would know they were gay. They had families and they had to live that undercover lifestyle because they couldn't say they were out because back then you were ashamed or whatever you want to call it, but people were ashamed back then. Then when it became normal, it was like a lot of that money went away. They didn't have to hide anymore or go pay guys to go to dinner. All that stuff kind of went away. And I think John was asking earlier, like I talked to some of my younger clients, they're good looking, all that. They just don't get those messages that you used to back then. Hey, I'll fly you out here to crush fruit for $5,000 or all the weird shit you would get. But
isn't it funny too, a double standard? Because I'd always say it, because you'd see a couple of girls who are lesbians or whatever in love, walking, holding hands, kissing. As soon as they see two gay guys do that, oh, that's sick. I'm like, I couldn't care less if they're happy in love. But it's so weird when I'd always give my mates our time. They'd be like, I want my missus to get with another girl. If she loved me, she'll do it. I said, well, say if she says to you, she wants you to get with a guy. That's different. I said, why is that? I said, your fantasy is her with a girl. Why she wants to see you with a guy? I wouldn't do that. That's sick. I said, but you want her to get with a girl. So I don't get the double standard you're putting off.
The scariest part in the New York scene was the trannies.
Yeah.
Because they were so hot. You could not pick them apart. So thank God I had Victor Martinez. Shout out to Victor. Victor was the mayor of New York. Like he knew everybody So when we go partying, he would let you know. They're like, no, that's a tranny, dude. That's a tranny. Okay, cool. Good time. You know, he was the tranny detective. He knew exactly where to go and who to look for.
I'd be like, oh, that's okay. As long as it's tucked up high, I'm getting anal tonight. She looks good. Well, that's the thing. That my mate would send me pictures like that all the time. He'd send this beautiful girl sitting there, her boobies are covered in bubbles. I'm like, oh, she's hot. And then he sends the full picture. I scroll down. She's sitting on the edge of the bath with a cock hanging in the water. I'm like, you fucker. How many times you got to get me with that? And he's like, do you like this girl? I'm like, yeah, she's hot. And then he sends the full photo. Like, fucking hell, you got me again.
It's funny because over the years, like a lot of the ones, you know, this real petite body, they got this huge, like massive, you know, monster, you know, cock. And I'm like, that's why, like, why did they all have huge, like, just massive, you know? And like, they're injecting silicone in it. That was a big thing with the gay guys too. They would get silicone injections, in their cock, and it would make this big, massive thing. And I'm like, one of my buddies had it, and I'm like, does it feel different? He goes, no, it's just a huge and massive all the time. When it gets erected, doesn't feel any different. I'm like, is that safe? And they put in their testicles too, so they have these big monster balls. And there's a whole weird fetish. You'd have
to be on party drugs while they're injecting that down there, wouldn't you? You'd have to be like, oh.
Yeah, sure, no thanks. I don't have any problems in that problem, man. No silicone needed. No silicone needed.
But I guess let's end it with like the Liver King thing. So he bonded out of jail. I think he had like a $20,000 bond. He has to do some psychiatric valuation.
He released a video too. He released a video. I was on when I was watching it on TikTok just about an hour ago, and he was just like, again, weird way he was explaining it, and he was like, I brought Joe Rogan a gift, and he refused the gift. I'm like, all right, man, this guy is fucking, like Lee said, he's shot. He's shot.
But do you think too, you know, I have heard, you know, eating all that raw meat you get in your stomach. Some people got it from sushi, but I was watching a show years ago. I can't remember what tribe it was, and they said they got some parasite and infection in their brains from different parasites in raw meat and shit. So I wonder whether maybe he's got some fucking parasite eating his fucking brain away from all that fucking raw meat and shit he eats. Fuck.
Could be, man.
Drinking the blood out of fucking. Wasn't on his documentary, they killed that fucking animal and drank the warm blood. I'm thinking that's not fucking sterilized or anything. If that animal has some sort of fucking disease in the blood and you're drinking it, fuck.
That's like when people eat bear meat. You're playing Russian roulette, man. You're playing Russian roulette with bear meat. That's all parasites.
I remember Seth Feroce went and hunted a bear and they ate it, but you had to make sure it was cooked a certain way. I was like, that's terrible. But
no thanks.
No. I think with the Liver King, he just, you know, a lot of people probably thought he got exposed. It's not a big deal. He's still going to make a lot of money. But we all knew he was batshit crazy when he was doing all the other stuff. If people thought that was normal and just like publicity stunt, I think he was really into all that nasty shit because you saw him physically eating a lot of it. And so if you're surprised, and a lot of people, I know he was selling a bunch of supplements, and he made a lot of.
I think Jason Arntz on yesterday's show, he was talking about, because you know Jason sells his supplements and that through Amazon. I think he was even saying even after he got exposed and all that, the Liver King was still making over $1 million a month through Amazon after he was exposed. So
he was, but. I guess a couple of his personal people that work close with him are coming out and going to do some interviews now, and we'll see what they say. I don't know if they have yet or not, but they're going to talk about just like the weird, crazy stuff that went on behind closed doors at his, you know, because he had a lot of people.
You know what would be? I got a good collab. The Liver King and the Lion King together. The Tiger King, wasn't it? The Tiger King. Lion King. Lion King. Going on Broadway.
Well, hey, King, you mentioned Phil Baroni earlier. Do you ever know what happened with that whole murder in Mexico?
Yeah, what happened there? Is he still down there? Or
Don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that he got my back when I didn't ask for it. And to me, he's always going to get my respect for that.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, Lee, thanks for coming on. I think we wrapped up.
Thank you. You know, the sun's not even up yet. I think it's only 6 degrees on the temperature. It says feels like 2 on the phone.
You're crazy, man. You're
How,
crazy,
Lee,
crazy,
how
crazy.
many hours do you sleep?
Last night I probably fell asleep about 8, woke up once, and then I got up at 3 o'clock. So normally 6 or so, maybe 6 to 7, maybe wake up once or twice. But my friend, Officer Tatum, he has that Officer Tatum show. He just sent me out. He has a new company called Synergy. He has like a testosterone booster, and he has his nighttime sleep formula. I think it's got like magnesium and melatonin in it. And I've taken that the last 3 nights, and boom. And I've been having those great dreams where it's almost like you're watching a movie and it's in color. And I wake up and I'm like, fuck, was that a movie or a dream? I'm thinking, I want to get back to sleep and continue it because it's like so realistic. I'm like, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. Awesome, Lee. Thanks, King. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Peace out. We'll see y'all next Thursday.
Take care, buddy.
Later, Lee.
Bye.
Later,
Bye.
King. Bye.